Hello, thank you for joining this month's Connect with Control M session. My name is Richard Talbert, and I am a technical support analyst for the Control M team at BMC. Today, we will be talking about optimizing and analyzing your job scheduling. Our panelists for today are Drew Cassius and Roddy Crabera. We recommend going to full screen mode during this presentation by pressing the full screen button. Please note that this presentation is available via the file pods at the bottom of your screen. For any questions you may have during the presentation, please post them in the Q&A pod. We will be addressing your questions at the end of the session. Now for the agenda, we will be going over job scheduling functions. During the demonstration, we'll be using the Control M add-on Control M Forecast. Control M Forecast will make the scheduling displays easier to comprehend and analyze. I will demo creating a regular calendar, a rule-based calendar, using the Exclude RuleBased function, and using a confirmation calendar. Later, we will include some helpful knowledge and also how to search the online documentation for calendar management documents. As an overview, we'll be going over how to schedule a job to be ordered to the Control M server. A folder's jobs not manually ordered get ordered to the Control M server based on the folder's order method. This would be a user daily job or due day. A difference for smart folders is that they allow scheduling criteria. With this, you can schedule when the folder will be ordered. As a note, a smart folder's jobs can only be ordered if the smart folder is scheduled to be ordered. We will also look at regular calendars, rule-based calendars, confirmation calendars, and how to work with them. We'll be using the Control M add-on Control M Forecast to help display and analyze when jobs will be scheduled. The demonstrations we will be going over are creating a regular calendar, creating a rule-based calendar from a smart folder, and also creating a rule-based calendar from Control M. Also using parent scheduling from the smart folder, using an exclude rule-based calendar, and using a confirmation calendar. We're going to cover a few scheduling techniques. The first one we're going to cover is how to schedule a job using a regular calendar. The job will be scheduled to run the week of July 4th, Monday through Friday. So what we're going to do is go to Tools, Calendars. We're going to create a new regular calendar. We're going to give a calendar a name that makes sense to us. Okay. Now look, you can create the calendar for a specific Control M server, or you can allow all Control M servers to use it. We're going to go down and select the Monday, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, Monday through Friday. Now, since you're selecting specific dates with this calendar, I want to show you that if we go and create a copy for the next year, you need to check the data. because while it is the same exact specific dates, it may not meet the criteria, which is Monday through Friday. We corrected that. And now, in order to create the calendar, we must check it in. And the calendar is synchronized with EM. Let's go look and see in a job what that looks like. If we go to a job, we have it run based on a calendar. We select the calendar we just created. We can view that again here. And if we use forecast, we can view the schedule. And we see that it is scheduled as we expect. I have a requirement that I need to schedule a job the 4th of July. To do this, I'm going to be using a rule-based calendar. There are two types of rule-based calendars. There is a folder rule-based calendar and a control M rule-based calendar. I'll be showing you both of these. Let's start with the folder rule-based calendar. You go to the folder. In order to have a folder rule-based calendar, you have to have a smart folder. By default, when you create a new smart folder, it is going to have a everyday rule-based schedule. We're going to change this by adding a new rule-based calendar, folder rule-based calendar. We're going to give it a name that makes sense. There's two ways to create this. I could take a specific date and just select July the 4th, but I'd like to show you how to do this using advanced scheduling. I'm going to select the 4th, every day of the week. In July. If we look at the schedule, you'll see that it's scheduled for July the 4th. Because it is a rule-based calendar, it will be scheduled the same year after year. Now we're going to look at the job. And we're going to use parent schedule. You have to have a smart folder to use parent schedule, and the jobs under the smart folder will use the same schedule that the folders is using to get ordered. If we look at this, we see it is getting ordered July 4th. Now we're going to look at doing the same scheduling with the Control M rule-based calendar. To create the Control M rule-based calendar, we go to Tools, Calendars, create a new calendar, rule-based. Give the calendar a name that makes sense. You notice here that you can assign it to specific control observer, or you can allow all to use it. We're going to do it much the same way we did in the folder. We're going to use advanced scheduling, not specific dates. We're going to take July 4th, all days of the week. We're going to view the schedule. It's going to be much as we saw in the folder. Now, the difference here is that once you create the calendar, you have to check it in. We're going to check in the calendar. We're going to watch it synchronize. Now we're going to go back to planning. Notice the folder is no longer a smart folder. We're going to the job, do scheduling. We're going to select a specific rule-based calendar, the one we just created. And you notice it schedules as expected. So one of the advantages with using a smart folder rule-based calendar is that you don't have to define and check in a calendar. One of the advantages of having a Control-M rule-based calendar is that multiple jobs can use it. Using the same calendars that we just created, I'm going to show you how an excluded rule-based calendar option works. We're going to go back to the folder. We're going to make it a smart folder. We're going to create a brand new folder rule-based calendar. Give it a name that makes sense. And what we're going to do is we're going to select every day for the month of July. Okay, we view the schedule. See, it's running July. Now we decided that we do not want the job to run on July 4th. So if you use an exclude rule-based calendar, we're going to use the one that we created to schedule a job on July 4th. Now it's going to exclude the job from running on July 4th. We look at the folder schedule. July 4th is now missing. I have a scheduling requirement where a job gets scheduled July 4th. The exception here is in year 2022, the job cannot run on July 4th. It must run on a previous confirmed day. To do this, we're going to use a confirmation calendar. What a confirmation calendar does, it is a regular calendar that is built, and the days on the confirmation calendar are called scheduled work days for the job. If a job is scheduled on the work day at the confirmation calendar, then the job is scheduled normally, like it normally would. If that day is not a working day in the confirmation calendar, the exception policy parameter is used. Let me show you how this works. To create a confirmation calendar, like I said, it is a regular calendar. Go to Tools, and we'll go to Calendars, and it's these regular calendars. We're going to create a regular calendar. Okay, we're going to need to give the calendar a name that makes sense to us. It can be set for one control observer or all. And I'm going to use reoccurrence to create this calendar. I'm going to select all days. And I'm going to select a couple of years. Now, because we do not want it to run in July 2022, I'm going to remove that day. As you see in 2023, July 4th, it will be allowed to run. Now I'm going to check in this calendar, make sure it gets synchronized. Now we're going to the job. We're going to schedule this job to run on July 4th. If we look at the schedule, you'll see it's scheduled for July 4th each year. Now we're going to use a confirmation calendar that on year 2022, it is not going to allow the job to be ordered on July 4th. So we'll view the schedule. 2022 is blank, 2023 is good. Now to give you some of the options that can be used, since July 4th is not on the calendar, not on the confirmation calendar, will not be ordered, but you have some exception policies. And you can shift this to run on either the next day, the next confirmed day. Now, what does it mean by confirmed day? Confirmed day is the day that is on the confirmation calendar. So if you look at the confirmation calendar and we tell it to order the previous day, that should be the 3rd. Look at the schedule. And since we did not eliminate your 2023, the 4th, it's going to run the 4th way it should. Okay, that's how a confirmation calendar works. Now let's look at what we went over. We discussed what is scheduling. Remember, using a user daily or new day to automatically have a job or folder placed on the AGF based on the criteria defined in the job or the folder. We talked about when using a smart folder, the jobs in the smart folder can use the same scheduling criteria as a smart folder by using the parent schedule option. We created a regular calendar using specific dates and copied the data to the next year and verified that it was correct. We created a folder rule-based calendar and a Control-M rule-based calendar. We used the excluded rule-based calendar option. We created a confirmation calendar, which is a regular calendar that is used to decide what days a job can be ordered. We used the exception policy with the confirmation calendar to adjust when the job would be ordered. Here's some hyperlink resources you can use to help with your scheduling questions. Thank you for attending this presentation. We hope the information provided is helpful as you schedule jobs and folders. We would like to encourage you to provide feedback on the webinar in the feedback tab. Please let us know your thoughts about the presentation, any topics you may want covered in the future, or any comments and suggestions you may have. Also, we will be sending out a survey in the following days and would appreciate if you took a few minutes out of your time to complete and submit it. You may follow us on social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. Past BMC webinars can be viewed on the BMC Software Control-M channel on YouTube. Today's webinar will be posted in a couple of days. We will now proceed to the question and answer session.